This tutorial will be about inserting an image into a post for conservativedailynews.com. First, you have to log into the site. If you go to the bottom of the home page, you'll notice that there is a login link. Click Login. That'll bring you to the WordPress login that you're probably already used to if you're an author at CDN. And you're going to put in, instead of my credentials, we'll use a test user that I have, because this one has the author role if I type it in correctly. And this brings you to the dashboard. We go over to the post section on the left hand side of the dashboard, and since I have already created one, I'm going to be editing a post that already exists. We go over to this, which is how to insert an image into WordPress. We click the edit this item link. That brings up the text the way it was when I set it up, which is a bunch of one paragraph pasted over and over into the editor. And then we're going to pick, you have to pick which piece of left justified text you want the image to appear on that, at the beginning of that sentence with. It's kind of hard to explain when you're going to have a picture that's actually going to be over on the right side of the image, but you'll see how that works later on. So I'm actually going to pick the second paragraph so you'll be able to see what I mean. So at the beginning of the second paragraph, I'm going to hit Upload Insert. And then I'm going to do this from my computer. One thing you should know about how the framework for the CDN site works is that to be a thumbnail on the home page, and if you look at the home page, you'll see some articles have these small images. They're called thumbnails. To make sure that if you want an image to show up as the thumbnail, it must come from computer. These other two will not work. So you have to choose from computer, which means the image has to be on your hard drive. So you can go through a list of things and pick any one of the images you have located on your hard drive. I'll use one from a Tea Party event that I was involved with last year. Now the image is uploaded. This does not put the image in the post yet. Here you could put your title you want to be descriptive of the picture, and if you can, also match the purpose of the image in the post. So we could say that marchers against taxes or something. The alternate text is the text that will appear in the images spot should the image not be displayable. If the image disappears, is deleted, changed, or the website just can't get to it for whatever reason. So you could put the same text. You could literally just copy and paste that text into the alternate text. The caption is literally a small bit of text underneath the photo. So we could do this since I took the picture. The description will only appear if somebody's going through our media library and just looking for an image to use. Then this description would appear next to it so that they could get an idea of what the photo is. The link URL simply chooses what happens when somebody clicks on your image in the finished and published post. You can choose none, which means that they click on the image, nothing happens. You could choose the file URL, which means that instead of seeing the smaller image that will be in your post, when they click on the image, they'll go see the original file, which you'll see this one's 800 by 600, which is way too large to use in a post. And then lastly, you could do the post URL, which means they click on this post, this image, and it will take them to the post, which of course they're probably already in, so this isn't of great help. But you could also have it linked to another post if you want to. If you had this image and you wanted to link it to another post, you could do that as well. So we're going to leave it as linked to the file, which means that it'll go to the original version size of this post. The next thing to be concerned about is how you want the image to be aligned in the post. First, I'm going to choose no alignment to show you what that looks like. We're going to choose the medium size. This is way too big for any post. 800 by 600. That's 800 wide. That's wider than the actual column in standard CDN post. So we're going to choose medium. We're going to have it not justified, and we're going to go ahead and insert it into the post. So in the visual editor, you get kind of a feel of what it's going to look like, but I'll be honest, you always want to make sure you preview your posts if they have images in them. You should always preview your posts anyway to see how they're going to look. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and click Post Preview. Wait for that to load. And you can see I asked it to start at the beginning of the second paragraph, but I told it no alignment. That means that it'll be left justified, and all text will be pushed below it. So now we'll change some of those settings. The way you do that is you come back to the editor, you click on the picture, click Edit Image. If you want to delete it, you just click that. So click on the picture, click Edit Image, and we're going to change the alignment. So we're going to say left justified. And if you look up here in the preview box, you notice it kind of gives you an idea of what's going to happen. See there, all the text is pushed down. Left justified, the text will float around it. Right justified, the picture will be on the right with the text floating around it. So let's show left. So we'll update this button. You can kind of see here what's going to happen. It gives you more of that newspaper feel where the text floats around the image. We can preview this so you can see it in the final product. And there you see it. The image has gone from pushing the text down to having the text float around it. And then we'll go ahead and show you right justified, or right aligned, sorry. And preview. There it is. It's right aligned. Text is just floating around it. And then finally, center. You'll notice the only difference between center and none is that the text will still be pushed down. It won't be floating around it as soon as it updates. But instead of the picture being left justified as it was with none, the picture is centered with all the text above and below it. The last thing I want to share with you about inserting images into the post is, so let's say we left float it, is the size. You can come over here and kind of adapt the size. Maybe the picture is still a little too big. You'd rather have more text float around it or something else. So you simply just pick a scale, hit update, and the picture will be smaller. We can preview it so you can see the difference in the size and the picture size. And there you go. You have a smaller picture. You can also take out that caption if you decide later you don't need it. Since I'm the one who took that picture, maybe I decide I don't really need any attribution. If people want to use that picture over and over, that's fine with me. I'm never going to get paid for it anyway. So I do that, and it just takes the caption out, and you can see what that looks like in the preview once it updates as well. And those are the basics of how you insert a post into the Conservative Daily News site. Just make sure after you do your updating that you either save your draft or you publish the finished post.